Good.
It should be, right?
Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you all for coming. We certainly encourage citizen participation in our meetings. And just as a reminder, our charter says that each person must identify themselves, state their name and address, and be recognized to speak. And you all will be allowed to speak once for no more than 5 minutes. Okay, let's go to our next issue. Number 2 is our invocation and pledge, and if we'll stand while Bruce Turner gives our invocation, and then we will have our pledge of allegiance.
First invocation.
You go,
Okay,
Bruce.
let us pray. Heavenly Father, you are the builder of all things. Please guide us in this meeting. Help us come up with effective strategies that can enable us to move forward as a team in a meaningful way. Help us to generate good plans that are practical, sustainable, and easily implemented. Guide us toward the best way to take action to accomplish our goals. Help us tackle all the topics we need to discuss, come up with excellent solutions, and leave this meeting inspired. And God bless Liz Morley and her family. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Bruce. I pledge
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our next agenda item is to approve the minutes from our April 19th regular council meeting. Do I hear a motion for such approval?
So moved.
Thank you, Jim. Second.
Second.
Thank you, Bruce. Any discussion?
Yes.
Okay.
Mayor,
Okay,
in reference to comments about the development with Harrison Merrill, that was a wider conversation than just the old lodge here. Which is
Okay.
what's reflected in that.
okay. What would you,
That conversation is for a master plan of development for the land that he owns in Sky Valley.
all right, so that's what you want as an addition to the
Yes.
minutes.
Yes.
Okay, great. Any other discussion? Okay, so I will call for the answer, for your vote. All in favor with the addition that was just mentioned by Bill, signify by saying aye. Okay. Adoption of the agenda. I'd like to amend the agenda by adding item 15 under new business to approve Councilman Allred to replace Ed Morley as a member of our Planning and Zoning Commission. I'd like to have a motion to adopt the revised agenda as I just described.
So moved.
Thank you, Bill. Second.
Second.
Discussion, thank you, Jim. Discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All right, Jason, if you would please present your city manager report.
Madam Mayor, Council, those in attendance, good morning. Days are getting longer and hotter, and we're starting to see increased activity with folks in the city. That's a good thing. It also lets us know that summertime is almost here. The Sky Valley Way Culvert project, for all intents and purposes, is complete. There are some final utilities that need to be buttoned up, windscreen, the orange piping that you see. They should be out here pretty soon to get that done. And once that's done, we're gonna get some more surge stone put in place there. We're also exploring some decorative options for the head and wing walls to provide a more appealing aesthetic. That's gonna be rock or some type of professional painted mural, something like that anyway. With the potential awarding of the Evergreen paving project today, Caldwell Construction, we had talked with them. We're hoping that they're going to be able to come in and help us with some of our patching projects that we have. There's a lot of places in the city that we are aware that needs to be patched. And hopefully with the T-Splice money, that should start to come in soon. They'll be very timely. Plans are already in the works for the annual Independence Day celebration. That's gonna be Saturday, July 2nd of this year. A whole day of events are in the works to include duck race, the parade. I see the chief is here today. The Sky Valley Scotty Mountain Fire and Rescue should be cooking hot dogs, potentially hay rides, truck rides. The City Weber fundraiser, and then, of course, we anticipate a conclusion of the fireworks. We've already paid that deposit for this year, so that should be better than ever, and we're anticipating the biggest things ever for that. Just want to get the word out. We are in the beginnings of the annual audit. Nixon and Associates is doing that. That should wrap up sometime late June. We're also having beginning talks of 2023 budget. Had some conversations with our department heads. We're looking at rising costs that are affecting everything, and we were confident that we would be able to move forward. Like a lot of organizations, we have experienced some staffing changes and shortages. As you all know, last meeting, Monica Blaylock is our new deputy city clerk. She replaced a longtime employee. We also had an opening in the police department, and I'm pleased to announce that Miss Dottie Clark will be our new nighttime police officer. She's been with the city on a part-time, as needed basis for a while. She seems to have a good rapport with the citizenry, so we're excited about that. And again, just want to remind anybody for water and road issues, water line breaks, the city website, the city Facebook page, and the Twitter feed are the best and fastest ways to get that information. We're really trying to put that out there. And finally, I want to say that Monday, May 30th, this coming Monday, is Memorial Day, and the city hall will be closed in observance, and trash service to commence on Tuesday, the 31st at regular time.
Thank you, Jason. Any comments or questions from the council?
Yeah, I just want to make a comment. I was going to wait until my report, but I have confirmed with Shelley that they will again supply the hot dogs, buns, and water. And you know, she's wanting to know how many. I had mentioned at this point, we're looking at about maybe 500. Should we go higher than that?
I don't know what excuse me, what you think, Ken?
Hey, I think we did 4 last year, I think 500 would be close. About 4 now.
Okay,
We have ordered 500 napkins, 500 little boats, little that can hold a bag of chips and hot dogs. We've also ordered 500 rubber ducks. I think last year we had 300. I think we ran out last year,
We
but
did.
again, we're anticipating this to be a big year. So we've already, in fact, we've actually have already reserved 3 porta potties for the 4th of July. We had 2 last year. We're, again, plans are in the works, so.
thank you, thank you, thank you for that. Any other comments or questions? Thank you, Jason. All right, department meetings, we know the police chief he's on duty, he's been on duty, and he's probably back. Is he night duty or day duty right there? He's day today, all right, so he's on duty. And his sidekick Ron says he has no report. So Public Works, take it away, Director Schultz.
Good morning. I
Good
hope
morning.
everybody's doing well this morning. And I'd just like to say thank you for the support again. And first of all, we've had 2 employees out with illnesses that was pretty serious, and then one of them is still going to be in and out. Don't know the full details on it yet, but just kind of keep them in your prayers. And but we have continued to do what we need to do. We worked on the leaf vac. It came with a new remanufactured blade, which was a lot heavier duty than the one that was on the leaf vac. So we had to do a lot of micrometer reading and sanding to get the shaft right for the fan and all this, that, and the other, to get it back the way it needed to be. It is ready. We finished it at the end of last week. And we have done some tree trimming on Cedar Lane. If you want to go look, we will continue with some of that. We're back full staff right now. And several more water leaks, boring companies hit water leaks that we've had, hit the main line that we've had to take care of, and, the back road, the emergency road, as Jason spoke on, we went back there and put some taps in and lock valves for future development back there because, I mean, the city's growing, it's gonna happen. And had to do that before anything was done else to the road to continue with making it the emergency road. Got those taps in, of course, we had some 3/4 inch line leaks. Got those taken care of and taking care of the grass and all that as well, so we'll just keep pushing on. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry. Any questions or comments for Jerry?
Jerry, just for, have we been having more water leaks lately than usual?
Well,
Is there anything going
we
on?
had one yesterday in that pouring rain up on Bayberry.
Yeah.
It was a 6 inch, it split from a block valve to another fitting where they 90'd it to go back down the hill. It could be anything that caused that. I mean, just shifting the rock or whatever in there, water hammer. The other one was on Ball Mountain Road. The boring company hit it, but, the water leaks,
If I get it?
the boring company,
A boring
I see,
company.
okay.
anytime you have to turn it on and back off, it causes a water hammer.
Okay.
A lot of it's just been in there so long that, it just can happen. I mean, it just nature takes its course, and it does. That one split from one side to the other, just out of the blue, so. But yeah, the water leaks have been, since I was in the police force to now, the water leaks have really picked up in the city.
What proportion of the piping in our water system is 40 years old? I mean, I know that we've done some upgrades over the years, and one of them involved a major bond issue, but do we still have a bunch of original 40-year-old plastic pipes in the ground?
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
The other problem is the city really does not have a comprehensive or even semi-accurate map of our water system. So that makes it very difficult on our public works to do what they need to do and identify where our water lines are for people to do
I mean,
construction.
we have a machine, but if it doesn't have a tracer wire, you can't locate.
You mean a tracer wire located in the pipe itself? Is
It
that
lays on top of it.
On the top,
when you
okay.
run that machine.
so?
Some of it does have it, some of it doesn't. Just a lot of it's just old. I mean, it gets brittle over time, but that tap, that lock valve it was just rotten
Mhm.
where it'd been on there so long around the pipe. In other words, well, it's got a saddle that goes around the 6 inch pipe. And then you screw a cork stop in there, and then you put your 1 inch or 3/4 tap line in there, but you have to screw into the main line and tap it off and then run it to the side. It'd been in there so long. I mean, it may have shifted one way or the other in the pressure. I mean, it could have been anything that done that up there. I mean, it's like the one on Center Ridge Pole. I mean, wasn't a bad day, and then the next thing you know, it just shooting
We had a 30-foot geyser. Yeah.
20, 30 feet in the air.
Well, one of the ways the city is trying to mitigate or start to mitigate this problem, Jason, if you want to talk about the mapping initiative.
Madam Mayor, I was gonna let Jerry get through.
On that company that we have of interest about doing the work on the emergency road, while they're here, Jason spoke on it. We're gonna try to get them while they're here instead of having to bring everything back to do the patching. And I know I'm as tired of waiting on it as everybody else is, but Precision Paving, I've been staying in contact with them. And he finally said he just don't have time. He's too covered up and don't have no help. So we're gonna have to go a different route to get this stuff patched and took care of.
Okay, thank you, Jerry.
I was just going, are you through there? tomorrow afternoon, we've had a tremendous amount of scheduling conflicts. We've had to reschedule 3 times, but tomorrow myself, Jerry and Cody English, our water coordinator, are going down to meet with Faith Bryant, the Georgia Mountain Regional Commission, to discuss mapping our water system. They have mapped some other systems in the region, and they want to show us some of the technology. So we are trying to address that. Another thing I want to touch on, for years, the city did not have a licensed person on staff to do our water. That's been farmed out. Last year, we sent Cody English to school. We now have that in-house. Through his knowledge and his licensing, we have found out that for years, every time there's been a water line break, loss of pressure, we should have been doing a boil water advisory. Now that we know we are doing that, we've had to issue several, as Jerry said, we've had some breaks. We issued one this morning, but it's a work in progress. I know the last one that we issued, we had several calls at City Hall, people wanting to know what to do. Primarily, when we issue these, for example, the one today, it's exclusive to the Bayberry and Red Wolf area. However, so just want to stress that if people are seeing those advisories, that's something we require to do. We know we have to do that now. We're doing it. But I just want to ask people to, when those are issued, that, you know, just read the advisory. It may not always impact your area. So again, the one we issued today is primarily for the Bayberry, Red Wolf. There's just a few houses up there. Every time that's done, Mr. English has to take a sample to the state lab, usually about a 24-hour turnaround. Every time it's come back clean, but we're doing our due diligence. We test the water all the time, but again, it has to be done. That's what we're doing, so I just want to share that it's always best to err on the side of caution.
Don't we, as a cautionary measure, test the water every day, just about? I thought so. Thank you. Any other comments or questions?
Just to say that our water is, we've got some of the best water most of us have ever drunk anywhere in our lives. And water is something that the city has always done well in the past, and I'm sure we'll continue to do that because I know the dedication of you guys, and I see them at 8 o'clock in the night fixing.
How about 3
Still
o'clock in the
here,
morning?
or 3 o'clock. Yeah, I didn't see that one.
I did, I saw that one.
But thank you for helping share with us why it's getting to be a little more of an effort now than it has been in the past.
You're welcome. And that one yesterday was, I thought it was gonna be a lot tougher than it was because there was the tap, then a sleeve, and then a 90. When you get in those close quarters like that, you got power, you got fiber optic, but the thing of it is once it was taken care of, we was up there, of course, everybody had. Correctly and didn't bust again, before everybody got going home, but everybody else was gone and I stayed and it got up to level. It was a little after night. I went there and shut the pump back on the auto instead of hand and went home, but it's just, I got a bunch of good guys that are dedicated to what they do. Sometimes you have those days, but I think we all have days like that, but they've been doing really well.
Thank you,
And
Jerry.
the police department is real good with communicating with us if they see something or we need them to help look if something's not right with the tank. I know it's not really police work, but if they're en route, if they see it, hey, that leaks over here at so-and-so, and then if they need to do traffic control, they're there, take care of that. So, we work together well.
And that's fantastic. Thank you,
Well,
Jared.
thank you, and
I think we had a comment.
Paul Wheeler, 33 Cutter Lane. This could be a question for Jerry or Jason. Did the company doing the directional drilling on Bald Mountain Road have the water lines located?
Do what now?
Did the company doing the directional drilling on Bald Mountain Road have the city water lines that they drilled through located?
Yes.
Okay. Are we sending them a bill for repairing the lines that they broke?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wheeler.
let me just,
Oh,
Jerry, thank you for everything you do in terms of, the maintenance and keeping the system going. If you have any additional insights as to when we need to start looking at other broader solutions, like, are there certain mains that are just so important that they need to be replaced, or, I mean, I'm not sure exactly how we go about figuring these things out. If you have insights in that,
We've been
Please let us know.
keeping the log on everything that we've had going on since I've moved over and Cody over the water and got his license. Every time something happens, we're making a log of it. And how long the pipe's been there. Neil's been here for 20-something years, and he has a pretty good idea. I mean, there's pipes that are still galvanized in here up on Condo Hill. So, I mean, it's just a matter of going down and getting with this lady in Gainesville and
it's a
see if we
matter.
get some kind of mapping. I mean, I felt like a complete idiot on Bayberry when, what's her name? Stahl.
Mhm.
And they were
Carl.
going to do their new house up there. It showed the line on the right-hand side. We tapped that line, we quit running water. I told them, I said, let's go to the other side of the ditch, about the same place to go down. They went to the other side of the road, and there was another water line on that side, so. I mean, you spent man time over here digging this up, and it wasn't right, you know what I mean? Supposedly it's a field line. I don't even know if that line's any good or not. It may have just been water sitting in that line when we got through it.
Okay, thank you all. Thank you, Jerry. We're gonna go ahead and have committee reports right now. Bruce, you want to start with your special
Yeah,
projects?
right now, our focus is on, first of all, the 4th of July, and then the follow-up on the Fall Fest. We had a meeting on the 11th and starting to define what has to happen and who has to make it happen. And we're going to have another meeting the 1st of June to keep it moving forward so that everything's as it should be on the 4th. And that we have the vendors committed by September 15th. So that's about all I have right now. It's a work in progress.
Thank you, Bruce. Bill, anything on the mayoral advisory committee?
Yeah, as I reported last week at the workshop, I had talked to Harrison Merrill Jr. And we had agreed that we needed to find a planner, a professional planner that we can work with and then get together and get that scheduled so that we can have a meaningful conversation about what kind of development would be accretive to Sky Valley and who's going to pay for certain parts of it. So we agreed then to follow up this week and have further that discussion. Harrison was out of the office on his vacation last week. So I gave him yesterday grace period. I'm going to call him this afternoon and see if we can touch base and get this moving.
Great. Thank you, Bill. Gordon?
Yeah.
Would you like to report on your marketing committee's last meeting?
I will, and again, good morning. Want to say briefly, we'll talk about Doug Hollingsworth Golf Life. Doug is doing an excellent job of promoting Sky Valley. He really is putting out. He's currently working with the Black Nine Media Group. Fred Altlater, he was a big media person in Ohio and Indiana and Michigan. And he wants to come down here and as a writer and show what Sky Valley is all about. So at this time, they've got housing for it. So that should be happening sometime here in the summer. I guess based on what Doug was saying, he's one of the biggest media people around, and he's going to try to showcase and highlight Sky Valley and what it is. Website, I think you're aware, the website's Sky Valley website, the visitor guide is being refined. Many thanks to Jamie Dara and Debbie Dahlhaus at the time spent on the visitor website, especially the visitor site. The bones of the site are well established, just need some more tweaking to make it more local for the content. If you get a chance, take a look at it. I think you see what's expressive, what's gone on. There's still many things that have gone on and changes we have in this case. In terms of the completed Sky Valley marketing survey, I think we all got results of that, and I think that will be very useful for us in our future marketing. Sky Valley logo used on the visitor website. After viewing several designs, spirited the discussion within the committee, we finally agreed on a new design, and that should be soon. It really looks good, and it should be put onto the website. Finally, is a Forward Raven Marketing Board meeting. Jamie Dar is on that for Forward Raven, and here's what she has to say. Jamie stated that Forward Raven is busy doing a lot of things, and they're really pushing for a digital and online focus. Also, lots of advertising in magazines and sports-related programs to include the Atlanta Braves, Atlanta Hawks, and the Georgia football team. Forward Raven's focus has been really county-based. It's really county-based, and that's where we get in terms of our efforts are going to be more city-based. Any comments? That's the end of my report. Any questions, comments?
Thank you, Gordon.
Very good.
Thank you. All right, let's move on to new business, which is item 8, which is to consider awarding the bid to Caldwell Construction Company to pave Evergreen Road in the amount of, did I miss something?
There was a question.
Oh, I'm sorry. You need to say, you want to say something?
Oh, I just had a question for the board. What was the survey you were talking about?
So that was the survey, the marketing survey that was sent out previous. The 9 questions about why you moved to Sky Valley and so forth.
It was sent out. I was just looking for it on the website. I can't find it.
Who sent it to you? Get your copy. You need a copy of the survey results?
Evidently, yeah.
Okay.
All right,
Jason,
I think the council is probably.
pardon? I didn't hear what you said, Paul.
I said, I think the council may need a copy as well.
I think it was reported.
Yeah.
I think there was a report on that at the last meeting, or I
Yes.
think the results were reported at the last meeting.
Yes.
Okay, so item 8, consider awarding the bid to Caldwell Construction Company to pave the Evergreen Road in the amount of $174,116. And Jason, I would like to thank, I don't know if Caldwell are online, but the construction, they are not. I was going to thank them for coming to our workshop to answer questions. And Jason, if you'll please give a summary of the project and the bid, and then we'll go from there.
Madam Mayor, this was part of the sealed bid process that we did earlier in the year for this emergency road, long time project. In the works, we received 2 qualifying bids, one from Precision Paving, $290,000, one from Caldwell Construction, $174,116. As Jerry touched on, when we reached out to these contractors, try to find out the discrepancy, why the difference in price. What Precision said is you wanted to bid, we threw together a bid. Obviously, we moved on. That's their response. Caldwell came and met. We spent probably 3 or 4 hours down there walking this road, identifying the scope of the project. They're the lowest price. I spoke with for due diligence. I spoke with Darren Giles, the county manager, who has extensive road experience. He said that he thought this was a good quote. And so, as I mentioned earlier, the funding that's been programmed to pay for this, about $140,000 of this is going to be from LMIG and GDOT money, We have approximately $50,000 of federal ARPA money, and then the rest will come out of road maintenance. So, well over 90% of this road is funded by state and federal dollars.
We've been talking about this road for, I know, at least 2.5 years to be an emergency exit and entrance
I know Ed West told me this has been in talk for 20 years.
for 20 years. Yeah.
We developed a lot of that property down there, so we're right here. It's ready to be done, the money's there.
All right, I need a motion to award this bid.
I move that we award this bid to Caldwell Construction Company.
Thank you, Jane. Second? Thank you, Tony. Any discussion from the council?
Just to say that, you know, Precision Paving has done some great work for us in the past. On 1 day's notice, they fixed the culvert after it was just about washed away. But it's real apparent that they didn't put a lot of time in on the bid, and so they had a lot of contingency. And I think there's a lot more detail in the Caldwell construction bid, and Jason just confirmed that they spent a lot more time thinking about it. So this is certainly within the range of what the county pays per mile of new construction. Ours is a little narrower road because it's just emergency access. It's not going to be, you know, for daily use for most people. And our terrain is much more forbidding. That's really steep. There's a lot of issues. So that's why I think this is a good bid.
Okay. I think I talked to the county manager not too long ago. He says currently it is $284,000 to pave a linear mile. So it's going up like everything else.
Yeah, and that's higher than the numbers that I was working with.
Right, that was about a week ago. He told me that. All right, any other comments, or questions from the council, from the participants?
Tim Darrow, 642 Ridgepole.
Yeah.
Had a conversation with the county manager. He raised concern about somebody getting all the utilities marked up through there. He's very concerned that when the motor grader starts going up the power lines. So is that incorporated into the?
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
We'll
A lot of been marked right now before we've done our taps down there. A lot of that road's been marked.
Good suggestion. Thank you, Tim.
And of course, we've been installing new water connections for the lots that don't have them. And so that I've seen those all marked. In
Yeah,
blue,
that's what
I
he was
believe.
talking about, the water
Yeah.
taps, yeah.
Actually, there was a company with about 6 truckloads that come from back there. They went back and set, I guess it was a fiber optic. And they went back and set some new boxes down there as well. They must have. I guess it was Friday. When we started down there, they was coming from out that night. Like they must have started real early. Got those new boxes put in down there.
Okay, well, that's good. All right. I've already gotten the motions and the seconds. I've already done that. Okay. All right, call question. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, fantastic. All right, consider approval of marketing agreement with Forward Raven. Jason, if you'll report the city's legal requirements when we collect hotel motel tax as a city and how Forward Raven agreement is used in this case.
Madam Mayor, by Georgia law, we are required to contribute 2/5 or 40% of what we take in to a qualifying economic development entity. Forward Raven is the designated economic entity for the county and the cities. And then, so every year we typically enter into this agreement. It's that time again to do that. And so that is the purpose for this agreement now.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve this agreement?
So moved.
Thank you, Bruce. Second.
Second.
Thank you, Jim. Discussion with the council. Okay, discussion from the participants. Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All right, item 10, consider approval of the recommended or the proposed marketing budget and expenditures for 2022. Gordon, did you receive the photographer's proposed contract that was reviewed and edited by
Yes,
our
that was
attorney? Okay. Would you summarize this contract and maybe if anybody else has questions? Would you
About
just
the,
give us a little
Okay.
summary of the contract?
Well, first of all, the county, city mayor requested the changes, and which we incorporated was with adding the POA to the contract. And the second portion of it was changes that expenses that you noticed that we haven't had expenses in the past, but if there were expenses, we'd have to pay the photographer. I put in the agreement that any expenses had to be pre-approved, ahead of doing it, so that I don't anticipate any expenses for the photographer. But if there are, that has to be pre-approved by the committee. So that's in the contract.
I know we got a copy of the
Yes,
proposed
right. Right,
expenditures.
he didn't have any issue with that, so it's part of the contract.
Any comments or questions from the council?
Other comment.
Go ahead.
You know, looking at the overall budget, I'm glad to see there's a reduction in the annual expenses. Because as we're building these databases and we're getting this exposure online and we're building that visitor's website, I think it's appropriate that over time, we're reducing some of those direct expenses for getting the word out. And that allows us to do more internal stuff as we're going forward. And so, you know, and I stated before, is the expectation would be that continues to, you know, get a little more moderate.
In terms of upgrading the website, which is one of the keys in the future in digital, and we see that within the city, as Jason has said, you know, we're gonna have our in-house people that can do this, which will further review a job and keep us updated versus having to go outside. Yes, very good. Jason, have anything to add to that in terms of, you know, the direction we're looking at for the website?
That is the plan
Yeah.
to take things in-house, have a little bit of a setback. Our part-time communications person who's doing a fantastic job abruptly had to resign. So we're reassessing, but a lot of the things that you were seeing done to that Visit Sky Valley website, she was taken care of, so I need to pick that back up. But yeah, that is the ultimate plan to do that.
Okay. Yes, sir.
I don't see that expense in the budget. The Visit Sky Valley GA website, I don't see that expense budgeted for.
That's that website was paid for last year. So there's,
Okay, well, so are you hiring somebody to keep working on the website, or is the Lawson Group continuing to do that, or?
we have a maintenance agreement with them. They agree to maintain the city website. It's being funded out of the general fund.
Okay, so we've got marketing being funded out of the marketing committee and out of the general fund.
We have an agreement with Lawson for them to maintain the city website as needed. And they agreed to also do the marketing side.
And what about the person you were just referring to that's gonna work for the city to update the website? Is that, why isn't that in the marketing
She's a
budget?
city employee.
She's a city employee. That was a city fund.
That works for the market.
Well, that was the help out as,
Also, Councilman Oliver brought up last work session that he felt that the council ought to take some time to look at the photographs of the work that had already been done by Steve Denberg. And have you guys done that? Because I certainly looked through it. I saw no snow pictures. I saw one fall picture. And for $8,000, why are we throwing $8,000 more at this guy to do? I mean, it just seems like a total waste of money, in my opinion, from what I see.
Do you want to reply? Gordon?
Well, Steve he's done thousands of pictures, and he's done the videos, all kinds of all the video work that's in there, it's all categorized there. You see videos, hours and hours of video. So he just took what he thought was one of the best of it, but there's literally 4 presentations, literally hundreds and hundreds of photos.
If that's the best he's got
Pardon me?
for $8,000, that is
Well,
ridiculous.
let's-
I mean, that's ridiculous.
Well, Paul, I've been through those photos and I just come up with a completely different opinion about
Yes.
the quality of the guy's work. So there you go.
Well, there you go.
Okay. All right, so here we go. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Okay, all right. Item 11, nomination and selection of replacement president for the 2021 council. I know it makes me sad and the council sad that we must replace Ed Morley as our council president. I will need a nomination for council president, please.
Madam Mayor,
Yes, sir.
considering what an excellent job Bill Oliver did in his last term at that job, I would offer his name for that position.
Thank you, Tony. Any other nominations? Okay, lucky you.
Is that okay? Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, motion to elect Bill Oliver as our council president.
So moved.
Thank you, Jim. Second.
Second.
Thank you, Bruce. All in favor?
Aye.
Congratulations and thank you, Bill. Okay, consider appointment, next one, consider appointment of our city tax commissioner, Monica Blaylock. If you were at our last workshop, you got to meet her. She's wonderful. She's doing a fabulous job. Smart as a whip, catching on and doing a great job. Jason, will you describe her need to be appointed to this position?
Madam Mayor, by charter, the council has to appoint a tax commissioner that historically has been the deputy city clerk. And so Ms. Blaylock's been in the city a little bit over a month now. Not to echo what you just said, but she's catching on very quickly. And this is just part of the process. So
Thank you. So this is just a normal procedure.
yes, ma'am.
All right, motion to appoint Monica in this position, please.
So moved.
Thank you, Bill. Second,
Second.
any comments, discussions? All right, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All right, number 13, consider calling for a special election in November to fill the vacancy of Counselor Ed Morley. Again, another sad thing that we have to do, but as per our charter, we must call for a special election if the remaining term is over 12 months, which it was. This also has to be reflected in our minutes and go to the Board of Elections, is why we have to do that. So with that, can I have a motion to consider calling for a special election, please?
So moved.
Thank you, Bill.
Second.
Second, Jim. I don't think we need to have a discussion, do we, guys? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, 14, consider approving Tony Allred to replace Ed Morley on the Planning and Zoning Commission. I need a motion to approve Tony for this position, please.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Did you get that, Karen? Yeah. Okay. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Thank you, Tony. I know it. You'll get me back later, right? Okay. Okay, now we are at the other business public forum, which is run the same way, where you have to State your name and your address. Anybody need to say anything? Mr. Darrell?
Tim Darrow, 642 Ridge Pole. A question, I thought or is there a policy about selling vehicles on public property,
I don't know.
roadway?
I don't know.
I would have to check, is that being done?
There's one right by the,
By Boss Real
by Boss Realty Park there with a for sale sign on it. Blue car, right?
Is that in a business parking lot or
No,
is
it's
that?
just outside.
This
Oh.
is the city right away.
Okay, okay.
We'll check into that.
We'll check
I was
into
not aware of
that. I
that.
don't know.
We'll definitely check into that.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you.
Again, I want to thank you all for coming this morning. Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Al Pointowski, 66 Pleasant Mountain. Just some observations. Fast, Mickey Duvall, James Holbrooks, Michael from Public Works, Clegg Jarvis, Elisa Mullins, Rhonda McCarthy, Charlie Webb. Except for Clegg, who's come back, all have resigned within the less than 19 months. Just an observation. Another observation. City on 2/8/21 to 2/3/22 spent $1,289.32 on water. That comes out to 458 cases, 10,992 bottles, which comes down to 229 bottles per week. Another observation. On 1/4/21, the city spent $866.40 on 25 pairs of pants from Dickies. A year later, on 1/11/22, the city spent $1,113.77 on 30 pairs of pants. So in 1 year's time, the city purchased 55 pairs of pants for $1,980.17. Observation, that's all.
Thank you. All right. Thank you all for coming and attending. Do I have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Thank you, Bill. Second. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all. Thank you all for coming.